It is 6:45, and we are going to call our meeting of the regular meeting of the Economic Development Authority of the City of Crystal. And John, would you like to do roll call, please?
Certainly. Commissioner Adams?
Here.
Commissioner Banks? Commissioner Budashevsky?
Here.
Commissioner Deschler?
Here.
Commissioner Kaiser?
Here.
Commissioner LaRoche?
Here.
Commissioner Parsons?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much, John Sutter. Next on the agenda, we're going to approve our minutes from the August 18, 2020 regular meeting. Any discussion, or Jim?
I move approval of the August 18th meeting minutes.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Therese. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes and the meetings are approved, meeting minutes rather. Next, we will consider a resolution adopting the proposed 2021 budget and property tax levy and requesting City Council approval. And with that, our Deputy Executive Director, John Sutter.
All right. Thank you, President LaRoche, members of the Commission. You've seen the CDA budget before during a couple of council work sessions, so I don't think anything in here will be a surprise to you. Next slide, please. So the 2020 levy was $282,744. The recommended 2021 levy is $300,000, which is a 6.1% increase, but it's important to note that there was no increase between 2019 and 2020, so that is really an increase over a 2-year period. And also it's important to note that we are almost $90,000 below the maximum levy that the state statute allows. So with that, at the bottom half of this slide, you see the cash balance line at the bottom of the table. That is a rough proxy for the funds that are available for future redevelopment projects. On the next slide, which is the detail slide, which we can skip over unless there are questions, the fund balance at the bottom includes non-cash assets, which, if you recall from city discussions about the city's financial statements and so forth, includes a lot of things that you really can't sell off and use for cash, right? So really it's that cash balance number at the bottom of slide 2 that gives you an approximation of the EDA's ability to do future projects. So with that, our proposed activities in 2021, we've covered those before, but we're going to continue to explore redevelopment projects in the town center area. We'll continue to expand our beautification and branding efforts, and we try to do a little bit more each year. And we also will pursue the sale of EDA-owned property for development, including in 2021, we hope, the property at the northwest corner of 34th and Douglas. And we'll continue to provide financing for home improvement grants for those households that are not eligible for funding from the Housing TIF District. So with that, we would ask you to adopt the resolution before you approving the preliminary 2021 budget and property tax levy. And it's important to note that these numbers may not be increased between now and final levy adoption in December, but you may decrease them in December. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, John. Any questions from anyone? Well, it all looks great, John. Are you concerned about the slightly less amounts, or are we on track for what we want to do?
In terms of the fund balance? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt, could you go back to slide 2, please? Thank you. There is a structural deficit in the EDA fund. You can see that the revenue is somewhat below the expenditures. It's not an immediate concern. I think it's a long-term concern. Mm-hmm. But the cash balance is sufficient that we can continue to kind of work with this. And we do have that TIF district is expiring at the end of 2025, so that's going to force some conversations about what to do with when that district expires, what to do with the tax capacity that will come back online at that point. Mm-hmm. And so I imagine there will be changes to the EDA levy and fund for the 2026 budget year. But until then, I think we can stay the course. And we have narrowed the gap between revenue and expenditures. You can see that there, mm-hmm. Between comparing 2020 and 2021. So it is not something I would be concerned about in the near term anyway.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Anyone like to make a motion? Julie?
Yep, I will move that we approve the resolution adopting a proposed 2021 budget and property tax levy for the EDA.
Olga?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion further? No? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thanks again, John.
Thank you.
Next, we have other business. And is there any other business or any updates, Julie?
Well, I just have a couple questions about the property that burned, up in that strip mall on Bass Lake Road. Is there any, first, did they ever catch the arsonists or no?
I would not know about the investigation. I apologize for that, but I do know that they are in the process of renovating the building.
Okay.
And I don't know what the delay was because that was about 10 months ago, I think.
Right,
9 or
right.
10 months ago when the fire occurred.
I saw a sign that said a chiropractor was going in there. And then I think there's some kind of a hair salon or something.
Right, I think one of the businesses that was there maybe is the one that reopened. And then I think the rest of the building is going to be used by the chiropractor. They're actually the ones who bought the building right before the fire.
Oh, okay.
And so it will be an owner occupant for most of the square footage as far as we know.
So that Vietnamese restaurant with the egg rolls is not coming back. That's really what I'm getting.
Much to everyone's sorrow, we have not had any indicator that they are going to be able to go back
good,
into that space. Certainly would welcome them if they did.
You were so good. You're the best. All right, darn it, that wasn't the answer I wanted, but I appreciate it anyway.
Hopefully they'll come back
So-
at another location. Okay. Thanks. Any other business or comments? All right, seeing none, I'll take a motion for an adjournment. Julie?
Yep, make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. And John?
I second that motion.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, and we are adjourned at 6:51 PM. Thanks, everyone.